Just gonna keep this show rolling. Your next comic, he's visiting all the way from Maine, everybody. Please welcome to the stage, Marcus Cardona to win.
Fuck yeah, San Fran! Oh, visiting from Maine! Happy you guys were expecting white dude, it's fine. Honestly, I ask people to bring me up on stage, and every time they bring me up on stage, they're like, guys, this next comic is coming all the way from Maine! And then I show up and people forget where the fuck Maine is. It is the whitest state in the United States, and I'm born and raised Mainer. It was a struggle. People say that they grew up in pretty white states. I grew up in the whitest. 98.2% white people. Communal grown, hell yeah. I like the Bay Area because this place, I'm actually the majority. It's crazy out here. I'm Filipino, Asians in Maine. Hell yeah, Filipinos out here, some Pinoys out here. Yeah. So, yeah, we're crushing it right now. We were in Spiderman, yo. That was the sneakiness of Asians right now. Like Filipinos, like with the marketing, we've been in movies for a while, but we're like phase 4 of like the ACU, the Asian Cinematic Universe. Last year was Koreans, next year Filipinos. Eventually we're gonna get to Chamorans, but that's like a big word for white people. They're like chicharrones, something like that. That's insane, man. Yeah, growing up in Maine was really awkward. If you're gonna power anything on Asians in Maine, 0.001%, you couldn't even start your smartphone, right? And that's an old joke, guys. I've been telling that joke since 2011. Back in the day, Maine was the second whitest state in the United States. Then I moved to Brooklyn. People say minorities don't make a difference. I did. Sometimes you just gotta leave. It's a real weird thing too, because my parents are both immigrant parents. I'm not adopted, yeah, I'm pure Filipino, dog. It's crazy because I have immigrant parents, and I'm sure plenty of you guys have immigrant parents. And if you don't know this about immigrant parents, they're always trying to like pure breed their grandkids. It was very aggressive. My mom was like, Marcus, you need to find yourself a nice Filipino girl. And like, Mom, you gotta import a nice Filipino girl. That's how this works. Like it's like I can't explain how white it is, but like this is the first time I've been attracted to other Filipinos because I'm not related to them. You know, that's like crazy. That's insane. It's nuts. It is nuts. Yeah, dude, like, it was very aggressive. My parents, like, they push that, like, you need to find a Filipino girlfriend, like, agenda on me all the time. And I grew up on 90s TV, man. I had, like, 90s, like, white girl crushes, like Big Power Ranger, Kelly Kapowski, the classics. But it was really aggressive. Like, I just didn't get it. There was so much conflict. They're just like, you need to find someone who can relate to you. But the thing is, like, I like interracial relationships, honestly. I think they're some of the most beautiful things in the world. Whenever I see, like, people of, like, different cultures coming together, especially, like, fighting over a bill at a restaurant, I'm just like, oh, world peace. But it's insane, dude. Like, I grew up with that, like, my parents, like, kind of being in my face about it. And then, like, as I've gotten older, I think you need some kind of tension to keep a relationship together. This pandemic has tested a lot of people. My favorite thing that I've seen during this pandemic is couples who about like 6 months in, they would upload a selfie of them and their partner, and then they'd comment, there's no one I would rather be quarantined with. I'm like, what bullshit was that? I was like, this is Stockholm Syndrome. Like, as soon as you got out, you're like, yo, we gotta take a break. I see you too much. You're in my life, and I need more than my life. That was all you learned. But like I said, you need some kind of tension to keep a relationship together. And as I've gotten older, I realized, the relationship always starts with sexual tension, but that fades. But racial tension's a pretty good substitute. If you're having a hard time laughing at that joke, that's what I'm talking about. I was hooking up with a Filipino girl, and she's like, Marcus, I wanted to choke me, I'm doing it. I look into her brown eyes, she looks into my brown eyes, I'm like, can't do this for the culture. A white girl asked me to choke her, it was like, have I always been a monster? What's fueling this? And like all I did was like think about all the white women who voted for Trump, and it was at least like 52% more pressure. I don't know the solution for racism, guys. Maybe we start in the bedroom and work our way out. But that's a real thing. This pandemic's been interesting though. I was living in Brooklyn before the pandemic, and then it threw me back to Maine, which is fun. I've got to reconnect with my family. That's like a big thing. My dad was a working class dude. He worked at a paper mill for like 40 years. He's a blue collar worker. I'm a pink collar worker because I do my own laundry. It's a girl. But it's really interesting because, like, my dad, if you guys, clap it up here if you're an Asian dude or Asian person here who has a really distant relationship with their dad. It's like a thing, right? Yeah? Okay, yeah, it's okay. This is group therapy. Express it, guys. This is affordable therapy. But yeah, no, it's a real issue because, I didn't really connect with my dad. I don't know who he is really. Like, I only see his personality when he gets drunk. I was like, all right, cool. But, I learned to respect my dad because he was a working class dude. Like, I respect my dad like I respect the Illuminati. Like, he wasn't really present during my childhood, but he financially funded the whole thing in secrecy. Like, I didn't throw a ball. Whenever my white friends are like, I threw a ball and talked to my dad all the time. I'm like, yo, I did not throw a ball with my dad, but I could afford every type of ball. You want to throw a bowling ball? We got it. What size are your fingers? Let's figure this out. That's been interesting too. I also got to be an uncle. That's really dope. I have 2 nieces. One's 3 years old. Her name's Pippo. The other one is Chloe. She's like 2. But it's been great because, I wouldn't have been connected with my, nieces. I would have been doing comedy in New York. I would have been very distant from them. One thing that I've noticed is I don't think I want to have kids. It's like a weird thing, right? I don't know if I want to have kids, but also, I'm a millennial, and as an uncle, I realized as a millennial uncle, I'd rather rent than own. There's some people out here who are siblings, and then your sibling's gonna have kids, and you're like, yeah, you get to rent them. Every time I take one of these kids underneath my wing, it's literally like signing a lease. I look at the damages. I have to bring them back and then yo, that was there before. I don't know why it's that color. That's why we got the great job. Try putting it through a car wash. It was crazy. That's been really interesting, man. This pandemic has gone long enough that I have no idea how money works anymore. That's a thing. At one point during the pandemic, we were just unemployed people paying each other with unemployment. It was like Monopoly. Now we have NFTs, now we have cryptos. I don't know how to talk to anyone anyone who talks to me about cryptos or NFTs, I have to just agree and nod just so that way the conversation goes. But the thing is, here's what really fucked me up financially with thinking about money. Clap it up if you watch Tiger King. It's okay. See, that was more embarrassing than clapping up if you had a distant relationship with your dad. Yeah, I watched Tiger King, and the thing is, up front, there's a bunch of crazy things, but up front, they were just 1 tiger cub, 2 G's, and you're like, man, that's affordable. I'm like, well, why don't people have more tiger cubs? But the thing is, they released that info the same week we got the stimulus. And it was $1,200. And I'm like, yo, the government doesn't even want me to have 1 tiger cub. What the fuck? It's very aggressive. That was such a weird series. I wish I could unlearn watching that. There's a lot of weird knowledge that I just have forever from Tiger King. I didn't know tiger people were so sexual, man. I didn't know that. That was a crazy thing. I didn't think that halfway through they'd be like, yeah, tiger people fuck all the time. Because I met cat people and I'm like, yo, they are single as hell. Apparently it's not a numbers thing, it's a size thing. That's insane, but I thought about it, because if you guys ever think about look at it like this. Have you guys ever met anyone who has leopard print underwear? They're so sexual. Leopard print underwear isn't just underwear. One, it's a couple of things. One, it is a red flag, for sure. But 2, it's a green light. You're if I ever start pulling clothes away from you, and I see leopard print, I'm just I should come up with a safe word now. I should text someone where I am, and if they don't hear from me in an hour, I'm dead. That's been insane, man. It's insane. It's an insane world. Money, all these weird things going on in the world. It is cool to be surrounded by so many Asians. I actually love the show. There's clap up for you guys, clap up for the culture, guys. It's for us. It's been real, man. It has been a hard pandemic. You have to think about life, think about a couple things. But anti-Asian hate doesn't help at all either. It's been weird, man, because I have to talk about that as an Asian comedian. I have to talk about it on stage. Spread the word, let people know. One thing that I think people say that they're blaming the pandemic on Asians because everyone feels like they lost a year. But all I've really learned is that other races just age horribly. Everyone is yeah, I've lost a year because of this pandemic. I've lost so much of my youth. Every Asian during this pandemic looks hotter, honestly. It's been a weird issue. Like people who are anti-mask, they're like, yo, I can't breathe because I'm wearing the mask. And I'm like, yo, neither can your pores, bro. No, you're worried about the wrong mask. Anyway, guys, you guys have been great. My name is Marcus Cardona. Thank you.
Everybody.